Hey, this is Scott Law, the world's oldest vlogger, and today we're going to open the Insta360Go2, which has been out for over a year, just barely over a year. But I'm recording it on my original 360Go just to do a little comparison. So, roll that intro. Okay, we are recording now. I'm recording this on the Insta360Go, and I'm recording it on the GoPro. You can see the Insta360Go right here in the GoPro video, but I figure, hey, the reason for these little action cameras is, besides action, is to be able to get quick motion. Now, what am I doing? I'm opening a Insta360Go2 with the 64 gigabytes of drive. So let's see how this goes. Now, one of the big problems with the Insta360Go initially was I have no idea what I'm getting on the camera here. I'm just taking a wild guess. At least on the GoPro, it's the Hero 7 Black. It's not the new one, but on the GoPro, at least I know what I'm getting if I want to hook up to the phone, which is what I've done. So we're going to take a look at this, and I know you've seen lots of unboxings of this, and so I'm not going to spend a bunch of time on that. What I'm going to do is talk to you about these cameras. Now, why do I have a Go2? Well, the original Go, as I just mentioned, you can't see what you're going to get. And you have to record it, then go back and take a look at it. That's just one of the disadvantages. Of course, I don't think that the way that you get the video off of the camera and onto your computer or your phone or whatever has changed, but we shall see. That's a pain in the neck, or worse, or lower, but it's worth it maybe for the form factor. And I'm anxious to see if they fixed a few of the things that drove me crazy and caused me to not even bother to use the 360Go very often. I want to use it. I love this little form factor. This is the coolest thing in the world. But even for an old guy like me, who isn't going to be riding bikes too much or skateboarding or any of those kinds of things, it's nice to be able to just get it out and get some quick close-up B-roll. So we're just going to give it a shot and see how it works. I got it through Amazon, in case you didn't notice on the box, and so I can return it within 30 days if I don't like it. And I just happen to be taking a fun trip, and you'll see some video out of that fun trip as we go on here. So here's the charging unit. I mean, you've seen all this. This is nothing new. So I've got that thing set right now to go on FPV mode for 5 hours, and or 5 hours, 15 minutes. I can't believe I said 5 hours. 15 minutes, and it said it's going to get really hot. But I don't want to waste your time with 15 minutes anyway. So here's the little holder, which is a lot cooler because now I can control the buttons a lot better. And that was a big factor on the original Go, is what the heck mode am I in? And is it recording or is it not recording? Those were big problems. So I'm looking forward to, I don't know why that's beeping at me. Looking forward to trying to get a lot better video in the really cool form factor of the Go2, And also I got the 64 gigabytes so I can go through the whole day with it. So you're going to see some video here, and at the end I'll tell you whether I'm going to keep it or whether I'm going to send it back. Why don't I tell you that right now? Because I don't know. I just unboxed it. We're going to try it out, give it a shot. We'll talk to you later. Well, I just thought I'd give this Insta360Go2 a little chance to see how it does. I wonder if there's supposed to be a... Oh yeah, here's a thing on the lens I'm supposed to peel off. Let's see if that's better. That's kind of funny. Anyway, so here's the Insta360Go Insta360Go2 with without that lens cap on it. So let's take a look and see what we get as we turn around here and just get a general look at it. It says here on the little screen that it's in wide mode. Hear that jet going overhead. I live near an Air Force base. So we'll just take a look and see what we can learn. Well, I'm back, and I've had the Insta360Go2 now for 3 weeks, maybe a day or two beyond that. I've been on some travels. We interrupt this broadcast because of the ugly black banding, and we found out what that is. That's that cheap LED lighting that I use. What happens is it flickers, but you can't see it with your eyes, but the shutter picks it up. So you have to have a shutter speed of 1/60th or below, as I understand it. I could be wrong on that, but 1/50th, 1/40th, even 1/30th really does the job. So that's why you don't see the flickering in this one. Now we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly on the Go2, but I'm not going to get very nitpicky, I'll be honest with you. We're going to do a little side-by-side comparison of the Go1 and the Go2, as you can see here, maybe on the side-by-side. I'll image for a few seconds, and then some of its own merits. I bought both of them. This is not sponsored by anybody, Insta360 or anybody else. I do not have any links down below for you to go buy a new Insta with and pays me money. None of that. So anyway, we're going to talk honest. Both the video and the audio are being recorded here with the Go1 and the Go2. The Go1 only has the standard video option. The Go2 has standard and pro video, and I'm recording in the pro video set on Vivid. It's being recorded in the ultra wide, but I'll probably process it down to the linear so that you get the lines above my head and stuff are straight or over to the side. You can put it in full auto, you can put it in ISO priority, you can put it in shutter priority, you have control over the exposure value, the EV adjustment, or you can go into even full manual. I am recording in full auto, so keep it simple. I'm going to try to make this a quick review and hit my highlights and my lowlights and talk about what I like and if there's some things I don't like. Sounds like my puppy dog's getting noisy back in the background, but I guess she's okay. Anyway, first of all, I do love the small, convenient, easy form factor. It's so tiny, smaller, you know, like your thumb. You know that before you even started watching this, so it is very small. The Go 2 is slightly larger than the Go 1, but that's not a big deal for me. The one I do love that you can now control the Go 2 from the charging case. Worst thing on the Go 1, in my opinion, was that constant issue with the button pushing. You know, you push the button, and what mode have you got it in? Is it even recording? How long? You know, it's, to me that was a big issue. Now maybe some of you got that down, but to me that was a big issue. You can also see what you're getting on your phone when you sync it up through the app. I'm using an Android Galaxy Note 10, so it's, you know, 3 or 4 generations old, I guess. I don't know. And now they're in the 20s or something. But it syncs well and it holds. I love it that the videos come out in MP4. Now, unless you want this fisheye look like you're seeing right now, you do have to process it through the app or through the Insta360 Studio software on your computer. Now, I do have Adobe Elements, Adobe Premiere Elements is what I do my video work in, and it will flatten it out somewhat. I'll show you that here. You can see that I'm doing this, and there's some curves and stuff. This is in the Adobe Premiere Elements, taking it directly from the fisheye look without going through the app on the phone or the studio software. You can choose your format before or after recording, so you can do the 9:16, the 16:9, the square format. 99% of what I do, probably 100%, is going to be in the 16:9 wide, because that's just me. I'm the old man. Speaking of old man, I don't have any extreme sports. I don't do trail riding or skiing or parachuting or any of those kinds of things. And so the image stabilization for me has been excellent. Now, sometimes, and I'll show you here, when I get real close into objects, and these are small formations, they kind of fool your eye. They're very small formations. When I get in close, you do see a little bit of roughness on them. Overall, though, I think the video quality is very good when you've got proper lighting for what it is. Now, it's fun and personal. It's not commercial. You're probably not going to see the Hollywood Hollywood types recording on this. But, you know, it could be inserted into a news bit or a field of or point of view recording successfully. It's not 4K, but most of what you see, especially if you're looking on your phone, is going to be, you know, doesn't need to be that big. You're still going to get good quality, sharp images that you can recognize and see what it is. Like I said above, it's easy, it's convenient. I use full auto for most situations. It's a point and shoot. Now, can you do some controls? Yes, like I said above, there are some controls you can do. Let's talk about some still photos. It's similar to a cell phone, I think, although it's less obvious. People won't see it as quickly. I took very, very few on this last trip that I went on. One was very bad. Why? I don't know. I couldn't understand it. But here's a shot that just didn't come out. But here are a couple that, you know, these are even heavily backlit, and yet I think they would do quite well on Instagram or Facebook or some of those other social media sites. They're going to show what you want. And that also, if you're just looking for memories, you know, even in this dimly lit cafe down in Moab, Utah, it's really not a... You're not going to believe this. Funny, I just got to the point where I wanted to talk about overheating. And guess what happened? It shut down for overheating. At least that's what I assume it shut down for. I took it out and let it cool for a little while, and boom, there it goes. The company does warn about this, and I'm in a warm room where there's no airflow around it or anything like that. I think maybe if you were on a an FPV drone flying around, the air cooling, or even if you were on a bicycle or whatever, perhaps you wouldn't have that issue, but it was so darn perfectly timed. I'm not really nitpicky about things, but there are a couple of minor issues that I'd like to talk about. The studio software, when I'm in my computer, I can't do a horizontal adjustment. I can only do vertical. It works fine, and most of the time that hasn't been an issue. Also, I did have a big problem when I went to both the camera and the charging case, got down to 0 charge. I charged up the phone, or the case, and it was all charged, but the camera wasn't charged yet, so I still had to wait. Well, I ended up waiting about a couple hours, but I don't know how long I had to wait. But anyway, before I was able to reconnect them up, I even called tech support and was having issues. They were ready to have me send it back in, but then after a while it did reconnect, so I was okay. Well, if you haven't figured it out, I am going to be keeping this little beastie. I really quite like it. If you enjoyed this video or it did you some good, why, give it a like. What the heck? I'm not monetized or anything, so it doesn't matter that much, but other than make me happy to see those likes, and consider subscribing. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Do you have a go-to? Were you thinking about getting a go-to? Are you going to get a go-to? And what have been your experiences with it? This is Scott Law. I call myself the world's oldest vlogger. And until next time, keep on keeping on.